Well, good day and welcome once again to Moments with Dr. Steve. I am Dr. Steve Bonenberger, and I am thrilled to be here on this platform, wherever it is that we find you and you find us. And we're grateful for whatever time of day or day of week it is where you are. For me, it's a Tuesday morning and it's a bit gloomy outside, but it's sunny inside my soul because we get to speak into defy the culture. Defy the culture. We're working through one of my great pieces of epic literature I've had the privilege to create in my life, called The Writer's Covenant, Composition and Compilation. And we are going to talk today about something that's becoming ever present and ever aware in my life, and that is that writing and creativity are how you defy this culture. Creativity and ingenuity, these are the hacks that matter. Zeitgeist is real. The culture is doing everything it can to entangle you in distraction and to help you feel helpless and hapless. But inside of your DNA, listen to me, you have been granted gifts, you've been given capacity, you have time on your hands. Now what? We ask you to begin to write. We ask you to pick up pen, pencil, computer, a piece of paper to sketch with, something that you can start to carve into a block of wood, start to do creative things. The Writer's Covenant has a constancy of message. Here we simply refuse to recant. Here we simply refuse to budge. Here we simply refuse to sit idly by and even hint that you should pause in any way. Here we press into constancy of message. And the constancy of our message is really clear. Writers and creatives are the answer to solve the problematic itch that this culture simply must find ways to encourage, support, empower, and finance those that create great works. Writers and creatives are the answer to solve the problematic itch that this culture must find ways to encourage and support, empower, and finance. Writers and creatives have solved. We suggest, and deliberately so, that writers and creatives and innovators and inventors and tinkerers and those who work and toil in solitude, those who grapple with unreasonable ideas that they simply cannot shake nor rid themselves of, painters and sculptors and carpenters and ironworkers and forgers and blacksmiths, code writers and code breakers, novelists and storytellers, musicians and playwrights and lyricists, filmmakers and documentarians, editors and those who shape and hone precision, takers to the next level, twisters of ideas that imagine and craft better mousetraps. We suggest that these and their counterparts in every known profession that we may have missed because we didn't think of them are the sole and only hope for this and every other nation. The problematic itch. We, the thought pros, invite you to stop ignoring the problematic itch. The problematic itch is the gnaw, that deep gnaw inside of your gut that tells you you're wasting your life. Irritant, that deep irritation inside of you that you cannot silence because it is the only true source of hope and inspiration, because it is the true you and it's the voice of God that is pursuing you relentlessly. Inventiveness, the innovation that is baked into your soul that reminds you that you have greatness embedded inside of you. Sobriety and sober life, the still small voice and now the loud crashing voice of us and others that are leading you out of inebriation and into sober living for the singular purpose of saving and pressing into your internal and God-granted genius. Small steps, the cry to inch your way into doing the right thing. Finally, community, the clarion call to exit, and I mean pronto, the worlds you have lived inside and habitated in, and find new worlds that for you to locate and settle with new companions. The direction finder that is being placed inside of a community that finally understands and fully accepts you, and that you get surrounded and warmed by those folks. Warming glow, the internal warming glow that excites the neurons of your brain as you start taking tiny, small steps and actually living your best and most productive life. God, the power of surrender, the power of surrender begins to swarm into your days. The days begin to get easier, not less complex, but easier, because God begins to manage moments and settle differences that you used to stress over, and God begins to send companions that actually understand and support your work, because you support and understand there's rejection of the culture. In segments to come, we're going to speak into thought pros and what is being constructed to bring you value add. For now, consider right now rejecting this culture, and I mean outright in full. Jettison its tentacles and fight off its lances and barbs and start to untangle its snares. Some takeaways, some life takeaways on this day. Sober living, we call you to full sobriety. No compromise, no turning back. Surrender to God, we call you, each of us, to full surrender to the power and might of God. Right, think, create, serve. Right, think, create, serve. That's our motto. That's our motto. And we ask you to adopt it. This is the motto that will shift your life. You must rethink what you've done, how you're doing it, how you'll be doing life going forward. One project, one morsel, one breadcrumb at a time. If you want to talk to me, send me a note. If you don't worry. Absorb the content. Let it do its work in your life. I promise you it has efficacy and it has strength and power. Till next time, this is Moments with Dr. Steve. I'm Dr. Steve Bonenberger. Travel far.